In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Klay Thompson's basketball shooting form and how you can shoot just like Klay Thompson. Let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out how Klay Thompson is able to shoot such a high percentage from the three-point line and mid-range areas. So the first thing I want to try and focus on is his shooting pocket and how he's able to lift the ball into shooting form. So let's check this out. He starts with the ball right here, and then it goes in a perfect angle right up to just over his head. Now, let's look at his thumbs. His thumbs make almost a perfect W. That is perfect hand placement. Now, I just want to let you know, as we learned from the Steph Curry video, everyone does shoot with a couple of different quirks. So let's keep that in mind. But Klay Thompson is almost picture perfect to what coaches and trainers are generally trying to teach you. So far, from his shooting pocket up to his shooting form, it's one motion. He's not trying to bring it up along his body. He brings it straight up to his shooting form. Next, what do we see? Well, when he releases that ball, he actually releases his guide hand first, which is what a lot of coaches and trainers are going to try and teach you, because a lot of the times players will try to push with that thumb. And what happens there is the ball will go out towards the right side or not have any rotation on the ball, which will hinder that shot. Now, Steph Curry gets around that quite easily. However, if you want to go check out Steph Curry's shooting form, there should be a link in the card above. However, when Klay Thompson is shooting, his last finger that hits that ball is that middle finger. The reason why you want to have that middle finger as the last touch point is because if it's the pointer finger, that means that the fingers that are hitting the ball are going to be uneven, which means that the ball is going to rotate out. Or if you get your middle finger and ring finger on that ball, the middle finger is a bit longer, which makes that ball go out towards the right. So this is why we have Klay Thompson or us trainers trying to teach you with having your middle finger touching the ball last, is because it's going to give you the most straightest shot. Another thing that we notice in this clip, but a few other clips, and we can really see it here, is Klay Thompson actually has his hand pretty well spread out. It's taking up the whole side of the ball. Obviously, if you're a little bit smaller, you're not going to be able to spread out your hand as wide as Klay Thompson because he's like 6'6", 6'7" in that range. However, what you can take from this is to have your hand spread out as much as possible. And the reason why this is important is because if your hand is all clumped together, all in one small area, there's a higher chance of that ball rolling right or left. However, if you've got your hand spread out like we have with Klay Thompson, that's going to stop that ball from rolling out towards the right or the left side. Now on this next clip, we notice that Klay Thompson's shooting hand or shooting forearm is pretty well close to straight up. There is a little bit of an angle to that, but that's going to give him a bit more power. Now, the reason why he doesn't have it totally all the way back like some younger players or some other NBA players have it is because the straighter up and down that arm is, the faster your release is going to be. And we see that with Ray Allen and how he shoots the basketball. Another thing that we notice is that his elbow is underneath the ball. Now, of course, the ball is brought back just a bit. However, in terms of lateral-wise, it's actually underneath that ball, which allows for a straight shot. Your elbow is essentially the aim that you would be having. Very similar to when you're throwing darts, you want that elbow underneath the dart so that you have a straight shot. And we see that from this clip right here. His elbow is pretty well right underneath that ball. He does have a bit of a tilt to it, but that could have been just from this shot because he is gliding a bit sideways on this shot. However, by the time he releases that ball, his elbow is underneath that ball and not out towards the side, which is going to allow him to have a straight shot. Now, another thing when he releases that ball is when he flicks, he tries to flick his wrist as far, or his fingers as far down as possible. Now, what is that going to do for us? What that's going to do is allow for the rotation of the ball. We want as much rotation on that ball as possible. Minimum, if you can even record it with a high enough frame rate to see it, a minimum 2.5 to 3 rotations on that ball. Now, the reason why that's important is because it helps that ball cut through the air a little bit better, especially if you're playing outside on a windy day. But also, that's going to allow that ball, when it hits the rim, to slow down so that you can have it bounce in, kind of like the Kawhi Leonard playoff shot against the Sixers last year. Now, another thing we notice is Klay Thompson holds his form. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because by not holding your form and pulling your arms back quickly, you may not have released the ball totally just yet, and that could really affect your shot. So this is why you want to hold your form so that you can keep that shot going straight. Now, let's watch the rotations on this ball. We're going to watch this bottom spot here. Let's see how many rotations he has on that ball. So that's one rotation. Oh, they cut it out. That's too bad. But I can tell you right now, he has 2.5 rotations on the ball. And this is how we're going to see it. Watch how that middle line, we're going to go really slow. So he releases. That's a half. That's a full rotation so far. Now that's 2 rotations. And now that's a half. So he's got 2.5 roughly rotations on that ball. And that's the minimum that you really want to try and aim for. Now, if you combine this with your shooting form right now and other players' shooting forms, and you pick what works from each of those players and incorporate it into your shooting form, it's going to help you shoot much better. Everyone does shoot with just a small quirk different on their shot. For example, myself, I shoot and I have my arm straight up because I want to have the quickest shot possible, because I have been blocked so many times from the three-point line because I'm a 6'2" guard who doesn't move all that fast. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was not the most quickest player on the court even back when I was in shape going down to the D-League. It's because I want to have the quickest shot that I've changed a few things. So I cut down on my power. I can't go way to half court like Steph Curry can. However, I'm able to shoot an actual three-point shot, an NBA three-point shot, and have it release quickly because I'm able to shoot with my arms straight up. And Klay Thompson, he has almost pretty well 90 degrees. And then if you look at Ray Allen, he has pretty well practically 90 degrees as well. This helps for your shot release quickness. I hope that this video and all of these videos help you become a better shooter in basketball. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe. If you would like me to analyze your shooting form, go check out the link below and I'll be able to analyze your form for you and give you some drills and exercises that you could do to be able to shoot the basketball better. I hope that you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.